Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Okay, continuing in our series here of the ultimate guide to Pelican and SKB cases for preppers and urban survival. This is the Pelican Protector Series 1630. This starts getting into the class of what I would consider extra large, mainly because this probably would not be, you wouldn't be able to check this in to an airline without it, like them saying it's oversized, quote unquote. So I think that's what's like a good separation point for me. That's the oversized. Now, this is something I'm targeting more towards people who want to build an evacuation kit in the face of the last few natural disasters, like the hurricanes or the fires, right? Where you have something in your closet that's durable, that's really a grab and go. That's not something that you use, let's say, for a vacation, right? Like a suitcase or a luggage, right? This is more robust. This is especially more helpful in flood areas because these are highly waterproof, to a certain extent. But I mean, it's going to be much better than some kind of canvas suitcase, right? In the case of a flood. Of course, both in the fire, you would be equally as worse off between this or any other type of luggage in a fire, really, except for maybe some kind of safe, and that depends on the degree of the fire. And I'm thinking about actually doing some safe content and fire stuff, especially just more for like the urban, maybe the city dweller, the apartment liver, people who live in apartments. And the reason why it's because that's where I've mostly lived. And there's a lot, I don't think there's enough content out there that's really accurate for the experiences and lifestyles of people who do live in cities, who don't live in, like, not even the suburbs, but even like, rural prepping. It's just, it's a different lifestyle, and it necessitates different needs and different circumstances to react to. So, right, that begs the question now, if you live in a city, what good does it have you to have something like this? Well, again, it's going to give you a better layer of protection against whatever's in here than a canvas bag or something to that effect. It does have wheels. You could take it on an airplane. I mean, obviously, you could check it in and pay the extra, but if you're in an emergency situation and you need to just bug out completely, right? That's what you have to do, and that's why I say really the top 5 C's of urban preparedness are more about having the right kind of insurance coverage and IDs and documents on you all the time, and having good, a line of credit or multiple lines of credit for absolute emergencies where you need an airplane ticket or rent a car or a hotel. And I mean for an extended period. Imagine if you had to live at a hotel for a month or something, right? And let's say you could pay cash, but you'd want to hold on to your cash. That credit card buys you time. And then you want to also consider your skills, right? And you need to consider money making a skill. And that's another thing I keep meaning to start bringing up here. But consider learning how to make money online or like side hustles, your skill. The archetype for the urban prepper I'm developing is basically you're a cross between a digital nomad, and that's someone that just like can work from anywhere on a laptop with the internet, and that's how they work. You want to be a digital nomad and a hustler. And that's how that's a real urban preparedness lifestyle there. So, okay, the good news is on this foam, let me just show you inside the case here. Now, this one is like 31 inches. That's another reason why this gets into very, large size. So for sure, again, what if you have an AR pistol? Oh no, this is 28. Oh my God, do I have the right case? This is 28, and you know what? I gotta check the oh yeah, no. The exterior is gonna be 31, right? That's the number I'm thinking of. Yeah, we're exterior, we're 31. Yeah, exactly. So this is the 1630. Yeah. So interior is just under 29, 28 and a half. So see, even though you're stepping up in size exterior than the other models, you're not really gaining much on the interior. So that's why that extra large breaking point, right, is like between something that's like 28 or 28 inches or above. So they have a couple of models that are more like 30, 31 inches, which could be, again, if you have an SBR AR pistol, like my AR pistol will fit in here, And yours could too. It's about that overall length, right? So, and then here, just for the width, to give you guys an idea here, it's 21 3/4 width, you know, and then, you know, a depth of maybe 16 inches or so. So that gets, like, obviously you got more kit, right? You know, if you're putting together that war kit, this is that battle box, right? You could probably definitely put a helmet and a plate carrier in here with a pistol, and like you could get a lot more of that kind of stuff. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about people who live in the city. Let's not even talk about firearms, right? Again, what are you putting in here? More water, more food, more extra clothing, right? I think also when you get to something this size, you might be able to put other types of useful items. I think the one thing I'm really interested in is a Starlink. I'm thinking about getting a Starlink and using that instead of like whatever cable company Wi-Fi, right? Because I do have a patio, and I'm wondering if that would be, because that's also something I'm thinking about. Like, okay, let's say you're displaced again. You just had to escape the fire, and you got this kit, and if you had a Starlink in here, right? As long as you're out of an evacuation zone, even if you're on foot with this, you kind of could just plop down and put the thing on and like connect and start communicating. You know, the communication is definitely the number one of our top 5 C's. It goes coverage, which is ID and insurance, okay, and then it's currency, cash and crypto, and then it's credit, and then it's meaning credit cards. So cash, crypto, credit cards with your IDs, okay, concealed in a traveler's belt on you. Again, I recommend Bone Tactical Traveler's Money Belt. Bone Tactical Traveler's Money Belt. I've been wearing it every day, 3 years straight. It's wonderful, and I have IDs and credit cards and cash in there, so I have it on me all the time. Concealment, and it also can and does. You know, I do plan to apply for CCW where I relocated, and then the number one thing is communication and having like a backup phone. You know, like I have 2 phones. You know what I mean? I have a tablet, right? So that part of our top 5 C's, you know, it's like, yeah, you could have the cell phone in the pocket, and then maybe in here you could have a backup cell phone. You know, you could even use an old one, like a really old one. I know I have one around here that just needs a SIM card. You know, yes, the screen is cracked or whatever, but in a backup in a pinch. You know, I've been stuck in Boston with no phone, and that's not good, especially in the modern day. And, you know, like, I was violating my own rules, basically. But, you know, I had some drinks, and I was there for a funeral and stuff. So, excuses. That gave me more insight into preparedness. You know, it's like I didn't even bring a laptop. So even if I just had a laptop, I could have done Find My Phone, gone to the pub that had taken it. It's a long story, whatever. Not planning not getting too much trouble like that, but especially now that CCWs, you know, you can't drink when you got your CCW, but you can't carry in Boston anyway. So, and anyways, okay, I digress. But you're a city guy. You don't have the AR pistols. You're not worried about the firearms in the go to war box. This has got to be your get out of Dodge box, right? Like food, water. Again, I'll grab this is the 5-gallon jug. You know, if you haven't seen my other videos, I keep doing this, right? So now this one will fit the jug this way. This way. It fits this jug will fit. And some of those other ones, it was too short. It had to be stored this way or at an angle. But this one will be the full width. So this is nice. I would say this is, I would probably, well, you guys can look at my past videos. I did show the trunk. I will bring back the trunk. We'll do another video on that. But aside from that trunk is obnoxious. It's so big. And you guys, a lot of you not going to want to consider having something that big, right? Yeah, you could have something big like this, but where are you going to store it? And then how much room is it going to take up? And then, you know, so that you've got to find the right size that kind of works for you. And I'm hoping these videos kind of shed some light on like the small differences between what you can and can't fit to help you guys make a decision. So, and I'll leave some links to a guy I know that sells these used. So the water bottle test checks out on the 1630 here, you know, and then you do got a lot of space up there. You know, what else can we think about in the context of fires? Yeah, the Starlink, you know, water's good, changes of clothes, right? And hygiene. So I get back to hygiene too. So hygiene, hydration, and hunger are the 3 H's, I like to call them, as a way to help people remember or communicate. You know, that's when you're in the city, those are your 3 sort of like ongoing considerations, right? Hygiene, hunger, hydration. Actually, in order, it should be hygiene, hydration, and hunger. Of course, I get that hydration is going to be the most crucial thing to your survival. So these 3 H's are not set in stone, but at a baseline level, you might say, on a day-to-day basis in a normal everyday life, hygiene, hydration, hunger. You know, you got to groom your nails, things like that, right? You want to be able to, let's say you are dangerously close to the catastrophe, you're covered in dust. Having water and a change of clothes, you can like get cleaned up without necessarily having to shower in some hotel room. You may not have that luxury for hours, but if you have a bunch of water and you got some change of clothes and maybe some towels, right? Some kind of just something that can be used, a bandana, some kind of cloth, right? You can get a lot more into these style cases, but now you've got to consider about your storage. How do you store something this big and live in an apartment where it's not in the way, you know? I mean, what if you don't even have a coat closet, you know? Will this fit in your regular closet? You know, obviously maybe not this way because it might be too deep, but if you essentially stood it up like this, right, in your closet, could you close the door then? Would you, excuse me, would you have enough room to store this then, right? Just considerations, guys. This is meant to cover a lot of different cases just to give you an idea and give you a sense of what can fit and what can't fit in certain models and introduce you to the world of like the Pelican cases and the SKB cases. All right, we're going to leave it at there. I want to remind you we're doing a giveaway. So make sure you subscribe. We're giving away 3 Pelican cases at 500 subscribers. I'm going to give away another 3 at 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit like and subscribe. All right, we'll see you on the next one.